If you're a teen driver, don't become another statistic. Keep your eyes on the road. And if you're a parent, please remember that safe driving habits start with you. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices. For almost 60 years, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sure. Sutter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SutterHeyman.com.
This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to Happy Hour?
Live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC Studios in the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, maybe I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Good afternoon. Happy Monday. Hope the weekend was good. This is the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary are with you today. Hello, Rico.
Hello.
How's it going, man?
Fantabulous.
That's good. How was the weekend?
It was amazing.
It was a very good weekend. Before we get into it, as always, 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line. Both of those open for you the entire show. Tell us how your weekend was, what you guys do, what was the best game of the weekend. We'll get to all of these texts throughout the course of the hour. All right, Rico, you have. We started a little bit later today because there was a really good interview with Aaron Taylor.
It was necessary. I'm not mad.
I'm not mad at all. Especially considering I was the one that pushed the button to start us later. You have 30 seconds for the Rico's recap. Actually, I'll give you 40.
40 seconds?
Yep, until 2:06:30.
Okay. This weekend really wasn't all that. It was very chill. We were at home most of the time. We wanted to go to the women's basketball game. We didn't make it. Kind of had a little stomach bug went around our house, but we're all good to go.
Good.
Yeah, no, we just chilled at home all weekend. It was very nice. It was very relaxing.
Are you going to watch the championship game tonight?
Yes, I have steaks thawing. After I get off of here, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna season them up. I'm gonna throw them on the grill. Gonna make those. It's gonna be delicious. Maybe go buy some asparagus. We have some potatoes also. Make a whole thing. It's gonna be great.
Dang, all right, Rico.
Ellie was excited. We said we're gonna have steaks tomorrow, and she was on the couch and she goes, "Steak." I was like, okay, little girl.
That is fantastic. If you are looking for a place to watch the title game tonight, head over to the Upside Bar and Lounge from 6 to 8 p.m. Nicole Griffith and Jake Sorensen will be broadcasting live there for ticket weeknights, 27th and Pine Lake, 50-cent hard shell tacos, $1 soft shell, and $3 house-made margaritas. I've heard the margaritas are good. Nicole always gets them every time. I stick to root beer.
Proud of you.
So we're chilling.
Well, what did you get when we went for our Christmas party?
Shirley Temple.
What did you say?
Best.
It was. Yeah, no, I don't remember.
Okay. I got a Shirley Temple. But 402-464-5685. I have a lot I want to get to and ask Rico's thoughts on NFL football. It was basically firing away Monday. Coaches getting fired.
Called Black Monday. Get it right.
I want to talk about that. I want to talk about how Husker women's basketball played against Iowa yesterday in a very, very competitive and close game. That was a lot of fun to watch. Nebraska falls short, but they're still not ranked, and they actually dropped 2 spots to be specific. So I want to talk about that for a moment. I want to touch on NIL. Nebraska hires a special teams coordinator. Finally, it's official.
And Scott Frost did mention a defensive line hiring as well. I like it. I don't know if it's officially official, but he said it. So.
Yeah, Mike Dawson moves to defensive line. So to replace Tony Tuioti, who left to join Dan Lanning's crew at Oregon. So I want to know where you guys stand on everything. How are we feeling with Casey Thompson now that we're a weekend removed from we've had a weekend to kind of sit on his commitment and stuff like that? How are you guys feeling about Nebraska's quarterback situation? Has our thoughts on Logan Smothers changed? Whether that means he sticks with Nebraska or does he move on? Does it all ride on a guy like Chubba Purdy or whoever they bring in, if they bring in a second guy, right?
I forgot. Every day that's removed from him announcing his offer, I forget that he even has an offer to Nebraska.
Yeah.
I forget that Chubba Purdy is a quarterback that is in the transfer portal.
And then did it kind of catch you off guard, Rico, when they offer Nate Glantz? Or when
they offered him a preferred walk-on, so not really surprising. I think they should have offered him a scholarship, and I would take him over Chubba Purdy. But no, not really.
Here's where I'm at on this.
He was the best player in JUCO.
I understand that the best quarterback in JUCO as well. But like, here's where I stand on everything. If Nate Glantz decides to accept that preferred walk-on and Chubba Purdy decides to become a part of this quarterback room, it's about to be very crowded. And now, and
that would be a legit battle after Casey. After Casey Thompson finishes his 1-2 years, however long he decides to be here, if he has a good year next year, he can, head out to the NFL or what have you. But after Casey Thompson is done, the battle between Nate Glantz and Chubba Purdy would be electric.
Well, what about then that conversation with Logan Smothers becomes even more wild and important, because if they decide to add 2 more quarterbacks, because now I don't think that's on the table necessarily, but if they add another one, it's still pretty crowded, because you have your guy Casey Thompson, who everybody's kind of expecting has a good chunk of Power 5 experience, comes in, is the starter on week 0 against Northwestern on August 28th in Ireland. So you have that. Then behind him, let's have the scenario that Logan Smothers sticks around, which I kind of hope he does.
I do too.
Because now, and I've kind of criticized this before, he's been here for a couple years and there wasn't a lot of excitement when he played against Iowa, right? And they don't have a lot of confidence in him. They haven't been shy about saying that, or not saying that, I should say. So
they've been shy in showing it.
There you go. That's a better part. They haven't given him those game-like opportunities that they've been so passionate about quarterbacks having before they find game play or playing time. Thank you. Excuse me. Whew.
Words are hard.
So I would like Logan Smothers to stick around, obviously, because there's that line between Casey Thompson being number 1 and Logan Smothers being number 2. And I think he's better, or has the potential to be better than a guy like Heinrich Harburg, than a guy like Chubba Purdy and Nate Glantz, if you want to throw him into that mix, which who knows what's going to happen there. But when you talk about how crowded a room's going to be, that room is going to be tight, because you're going to have Casey Thompson, Logan Smothers, Heinrich Harburg, Chubba Purdy, Matt Masker, the guy from Hastings,
Richard Torres.
Richard Torres.
People forget Richard Torres.
What is going to happen with Richard Torres? Where's he fit in all this?
Well,
in the
he has to get healthy.
Yes, but in the trajectory of the program, where does he fit in all of this?
True.
So there's a lot of things that are going to need to be unfolded in the next, year and a half, when you're talking about the backup third string, when you're talking about those positions, year and a half. But, and Tater says this on the text line, I'm so excited and have a lot of hope for Casey Thompson. And I think that's the vibe right now. And then you get a guy like Trey Palmer, who's another return man with the Mickey Joseph connection. And that's definitely something to be excited about. But I would caution Husker fans, and here's why. Nebraska football under 4 years still has not found an identity. And their only somewhat of an identity is now playing down at Manhattan at Kansas State. And
Cade
so,
Warner?
of course, yeah. Thank you, Rico. But no, there's a lot to be excited about, but I would caution. And here's why. Like I said, the identity is now playing at Kansas State. And you don't know, you want to be able to count on Ramir Johnson, but I think some Husker fans are hesitant because it wasn't an 1,000-yard rusher. It's not that leaps and bounds better than the next guy rusher.
I mean, I'll
that
push back.
running back room is crowded.
I mean, I can push back on the Ramir Johnson hesitancy is they didn't run with their running backs at
Good
all
point.
they did not give him a chance to become a 1,000-yard rusher, to become a 120-yard a game rusher, because they didn't run with their running backs. They would get Adrian Martinez would get the ball and he would either throw it or he would run it. So you weren't turning it around. You weren't turning around and handing it off to your running backs to give them a chance to make any type of plays, to take some pressure off of the passing game, to take some pressure off of your running backs and keep those pass rushers at bay for even a half second longer.
I guess that works right into my point then, in an essence, because I do not know what this offense is going to look like. You might be able to take a wild guess that it's going to be a little more pass heavy, since a guy like Casey Thompson only had 157 rushing yards last season. So you can kind of expect that.
I mean,
but here's another thing is you have to take into account that every single year they've told us that they want to run the ball and find one guy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, part of that is the coaching staff not sticking to it and maybe panicking. I don't know if that's the right word, but there are moments in games where it gets a little too close for comfort and they go away from what was not necessarily working, but was sustainable.
They fall back on what is comfortable to them,
which is risky plays and quarterback runs,
which is letting the quarterback make the plays.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's not handing it off and letting the running back make the plays. It's giving the ball to your most talented athlete, which was Adrian Martinez, and letting him do what needs to be done. That was what they would always fall back on. But the 157 rushing yards for Casey Thompson, you have to remember, he had Bijan Robinson.
That's a good point.
In his backfield, who was at one point a Heisman top 3 finalist about midway through the season. He was putting up monster numbers. So in Texas, they didn't ask Casey Thompson to run because they had running backs, because they had guys that they could get. They had guys that Casey Thompson could give the ball to take pressure off of himself while he slung it around to his playmakers, which Nebraska has a crowded running back room, as you said. I don't know how much talent is there. I mean, Gabe Irvin seems to have a lot of talent. Mm-hmm. He's still got to get healthy from the injury he suffered against Oklahoma. Hopefully he can get, healthy from that and get back to where he was headed, get back on the trajectory that it seemed like he was going for in his true freshman year. You have Ramir Johnson, who showed out after the Oklahoma game when he took the starting role. You still have Marquise Stepp, who was your transfer from USC. He's a big body back.
Yeah, don't forget him.
You have Jaquez Yant, who you've seen, 2-3 games from him, flashes of what he can offer you. You've got, the freshman that you're bringing in. You have a couple other guys in that running back room that have talent and have skill. You just need to figure out a way to not only get them the ball, but utilize their skill sets to help Casey and this offense flourish.
Well, with anybody in this offense, put these guys in a position to succeed. I think that's a huge part. And with that, it's kind of a two-way street. The guys have to be bought in. And whether that's finding a way to keep Xavier Betts on the field or finding a way to keep Jacques Yant available to play. Just available. You cannot have guys that will go for 80-some yards in a weekend or in a game, which is somewhat decent for Nebraska. How sad is that to say? For a running back who goes off for, let's say, 88 yards, and then the next week he's unavailable because of something that is off the field, non-injury related. You can't have that, especially in a do or die season. You have to try your best to minimize. Words
are hard.
For the second time today, minimize those problems, those off the field problems, because it's kind of going to be all hands on deck. And that's what the running back room has been these last 4 years. Maybe take away the first season with Divine Ozigbo. It's been running back by committee. And each year, the staff tells us they want to find one guy. Now, part of that may be the staff not sticking with one guy. part of that may be the guy's not taking the job, which is a big issue in itself. And John and Cortland and Rico, you made a point about this too. It's offensive line, right?
Mm-hmm.
That helps with establishing a running game. And Casey Thompson, if he doesn't have to scramble out of the pocket every single play, he's going to be much more successful, just like Adrian Martinez was.
And for those people that would rag on Adrian Martinez not being able to make the throws, I'm not going to get into that, but I can tell you right now that Casey Thompson, watching the games that he's played and watching the not even just the highlights, but just the games, just watching a couple of them, the dude can make just about every throw you are going to ask him to make. He can put some zip on it. He can put some touch on it. He can put it into places where only his receiver can get it. Yeah, he's going to throw it up there every once in a while to challenge his receiver to make a play. But that happens. And this roster has receivers that can go up and make a play. They have guys.
He's got to get them on the field.
Yeah, they have guys who after the catch, you could throw them a short slant route. You could throw them a curl route. You just get them the ball within 2 yards of the line of scrimmage and let them make a play. They can do that. This roster has so much talent that they need to utilize. They need to actually get on the field, keep on the field, get the ball to, and let them use the skill set that they earned their scholarship with. Because right now you have all of these guys sitting on the bench for a year, 2 years, 3 years, who haven't been able to get into a game, who haven't been able to show you why they are a Division I, Power 5, blue blood school recruit, commit player. You have these guys and you're not using them. You need to find a way to get these guys on the field and get the most out of them.
Yeah, so there's a lot to be. I mean, you're absolutely right, Rico. You were going right just in the direction that I wanted to go there, but there's a lot to be excited about. I don't want this conversation to cloud that, but I want to caution Husker fans from crowning offseason national champions. That's a common term.
4 years running.
The Husker fan base, right? The offseason national championship. There's a lot to be excited about. But if we get to the preseason, spring ball, and we get to fall ball and fall camp, and we're hearing the same stuff, Husker fans have a right to be hesitant to believe it. Because through 4 years, a good chunk of what this staff has said hasn't translated onto the football field.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, minimizing those issues. What you said, getting the talent on the field and using them correctly, assessing talent, identifying talent, developing talent.
What did Mickey say? Do not overcoaching them, using the skills that they have to their fullest abilities.
That's a big part. Assessing talent, like Mickey just said on that clip. It's assessing talent, finding the guy's strengths, and not messing up that strength, but still developing what they're weaker at.
Finding out what they're great at and getting them better at what they're not great at.
402-464-5685. Feel free to chime into the show all hour long. Haunted of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line. You guys know how to get involved there, as well as the Starter Heyman Jewelers video stream, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. We can throw your comment up on the screen there. And then you can find us on Twitter, Nick_Sainer, and at Radio Rico AC. All right, so a couple minutes left in this segment. Feel free to
play 93.7 The Ticket.
Thank you, Rico. Gosh, I always forget that.
Hey, Google, play 93.7 The Ticket. Just in case you don't have an Alexa,
So there's a lot to be excited about. Casey Thompson, obviously, a big get. And we talked about it before he officially made his announcement that if he did decide to come to Lincoln, that was as good of an option as Nebraska was going to have at this time in the transfer portal.
How did we say it? I think we said it off air. The best option that you can realistically get was Casey Thompson.
So
because the best option would have been Caleb Williams, but realistically, you are not getting Caleb Williams as Jackson Dart is transferring out of USC. Yeah. I wonder what that means.
Which is interesting because when Bach and I talked to Barry Trammell last week, he mentioned that Caleb Williams and his family was not happy with Lincoln Riley when they left Oklahoma. So that's very interesting. He didn't think that
maybe they just wanted a heads up.
That's been one of the knocks on, or one of the reasons that have been mentioned why Caleb Williams is not going to USC or they don't think he is, because of that, because he was not happy that Lincoln Riley just up and left.
See, I don't think Caleb and his family were mad that he up and left Oklahoma. I think they're mad that he didn't give them a heads up.
He didn't give anybody a heads up.
Because if he would have been like, hey, Caleb and Caleb's family, I'm going to go to USC. Would you like to come with me? Yes, we would. I'm sure that they would be fine with it. But just the fact that he left, I think it's like, we're mad at him because he just left us. But at the same time, it's like, dude, we're gonna go to USC. Like, I don't really.
Yeah, I get to play for USC.
Whatever, man. I'm gonna play in Southern California.
Easily win a Pac-12 title. Easily.
Pretty easily, yeah.
All right, let's take a break. Let's stick with Caleb Williams. He got offered $1 million to play at Eastern Michigan. Let's talk about NIL a little bit, because I think institutions have started to find a loophole. Loophole.
I love loopholes.
To where it's wrong, but it's still technically legal. We'll talk about that next. 402-464-5685. Get your thoughts in on NIL. We'll talk about it next on the Happy Hour.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
This is Dan Friedman. In recent years, over 1/3 of all Nebraska traffic crashes have been caused by drivers aged 15 to 19. If you're a teen driver, don't become another statistic. Keep your eyes on the road. And if you're a parent, please remember that safe driving habits start with you. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices. For almost 60 years, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
My name is Rebecca. I struggled with depression for years. I also smoked. That was my world. Finally, I realized that smoking wasn't helping me. It was making my life worse. So I took control and I quit. Now I'm able to run again and take walks with my grandkids. My tip is there's another world out there, and it's a beautiful place to be.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line. 1-800-QUIT-NOW. 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
You spend more time in your garage than outdoors in the wintertime. Isn't it time to get it organized? Call Travis at Classic Garage Solutions for his variety of organization packages. Turn your garage from a cluttered mess to a clean, organized space that'll be the envy of the neighborhood and something you can be proud of. You don't need to bring the same clutter from last year into the new year. Travis has storage options for cabinets, monkey bar shelving, or slat wall, and more. Call Classic Garage Solutions today at 402-730-1638.
The place you call home should always be a place of comfort. Warm and cozy in winter, cool and relaxing in summer. If your home isn't delivering the comfort you expect, call Bryant. It's more than just hot and cold to them. It's about providing the best comfort solutions. And Bryant gives you a full 24-month test drive on your home comfort system. Get full details at BryantLincoln.com or call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Hey everyone, it's Nicole Griffith from Ticket Weeknights. Join me tonight at Upside Bar and Lounge as we're broadcasting live and on location. They'll have the national championship game between Alabama and Georgia up on all the TVs. And of course, Monday night is taco night at Upside. 50-cent hard shells, $1 soft shells, and $3 house margs while you watch the big game. It's Ticket Weeknights with me, Nicole Griffith, live from Upside Bar and Lounge at 27th and Pine Lake tonight, January 10th from 6 to 8 p.m.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
Ed Orgeron joins us. You have told me before you have a genuine fondness for the state of Nebraska. Why is that?
I always liked Nebraska. Growing up, watching Nebraska, Monty Kiffin, Tom Osborne, the great teams there. I just always liked Nebraska. I just think it's a great school, great state, great football, tough, hard-nosed football players.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
Casey's General Store is giving you the chance at winning 2 free tickets to a Nebraska home basketball game this season. Stop by any Casey's location in Lincoln throughout basketball season. Enter your name into the registration box, and you'll have a chance to win 2 tickets to an upcoming Nebraska basketball game. Every drawing will occur at least 24 hours before the game that has its selected winner. So make sure to get to any Casey's in Lincoln today for your chance at 2 free tickets for Nebraska men's basketball games.
At Southeast Community College, we know that winter isn't even here yet, but spring is already on our minds. Registration for the spring 2022 semester is open now. Whether you want to get a head start on a 4-year degree, learn a new trade with a certificate program, or add to your job skills, SCC has a class for you. Spring semester starts January 10th. Learn more about our more than 60 programs of study online at southeast.edu. SCC, your path to possible.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
A sunny and seasonably cool day for our Monday, topping out near 37. Winds will start the day out of the north at 10, but try to change out of the west by late this afternoon. Overnight clear with a low of 22. A nice bounce back in temps for our Tuesday. We should be mainly sunny, southwest winds 10 to 15, and an afternoon high of 52. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nick Sainert.
Whenever I'm about to do something, I think, would an idiot do that? And if they would, I do not do that thing.
Enrique Alvarez Clary.
If any of you need anything at all, too bad. Deal with your problems yourselves like adults.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back here on the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. 402-464-5685. Honda Lincoln Hotline, the Starter Heyman text line. Both those open for you the remainder of the show. Got about 30 minutes left in Monday's program, so then we'll hand it off to Bach and Big Sky for the water cooler, then on the block with Strick and Bach from 4 to 6 p.m. today. And then after that, Nicole Griffith and Jake Sorensen for ticket weeknights, 6 to 8 p.m. They'll be broadcasting live from Upside Bar and Lounge tonight. So if you want a place to watch the title game and probably watch Alabama win another championship, head to the Upside Bar and Lounge. 50-cent hard shell tacos, $1 soft shell tacos, and $3 house-made margaritas there. It's a good time. You get to play Keno. If you show up, I'll play Keno. I'm going to be playing Keno, so you can hang out, play Keno. Never stop playing the game you love.
There you go.
And we can win some big money tonight.
We need to make that into a t-shirt.
I agree.
Never stop playing the game you love.
Never stop playing.
And also, words are hard.
Either way, yeah, it's been.
I gotta talk to Big Sky. We gotta get some t-shirts for the happy hour out there.
We do. And shout out Industry Baby, still going to be a t-shirt,
always and forever.
I'm sure there'll be a couple more. All right, so real quickly here, NIL Rico started July 1st. I believe July 1st.
Man, I went to college too early.
July 1st, 20. How much would you think you would be?
I would not. I would have made like $1.
You would have done the Runs app.
I definitely would have done the Runs app. I probably would have been a Barstool athlete. I would have been a Barstool athlete. That's a lie.
Have you
I would
heard?
have done that.
Have you heard what Barstool athletes get?
Oh yeah, they get like a t-shirt.
They get a t-shirt and then they have to put it in their bio that says Barstool athlete.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have been a Barstool athlete. That's garbage.
Either way,
and yeah, I'm gonna say that. I don't care.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I would have tried to partner with like the local like gaming establishment that we had in Kearney, but I don't know how much they would have really cared for a track athlete.
Good point.
At a little old UNK to, asking for some money to promote them. They would be like, yeah, we don't care.
Yeah, makes sense. All right, so Caleb Williams, this came out the other day that he was offered $1 million to go to Eastern Michigan to play quarterback by former Eastern Michigan quarterback Charlie Batch. So here's what I'll say about NIL. And there's been a lot of talk on other shows about NIL. Rico and I have kind of stayed away from it, but
look, if I was the head coach at Eastern Michigan, he would have gone because I was the coach at Eastern Michigan on NCAA 14, who won a national championship in year 2.
Either way,
we out here.
All right. Either way, I think institutions are starting to find a loophole in this because there are ways that it really feels like there are schools paying to play, right? And that's not what this is about. This is about name, image, and likeness. And the way that they're kind of using this is they're finding boosters and businesses to sponsor these athletes and basically give them money, obviously, not only to represent their brand, but play for the university, and they're using that as ways to lure athletes to schools is NIL money.
Leverage.
Maybe
the
that's
money
a better
is
word.
a leverage.
Like I think about the deal with DJ Uiagalelei and Dr. Pepper.
Like, I know you said that right, but it still sounds wrong.
DJ Uiagalelei. So I understand that like he signed the deal with Dr. Pepper, but you saw him in like 2 commercials. Like,
I mean, that's more than he would have been able to do before.
You're right. But and that's not necessarily tied to.
And he probably would have been in more if they would have
Clemson.
played well.
Oh, that's interesting.
Like, if they would have played better.
Does their record decide how often they're in a commercial?
No, I mean, they still paid him and they still got him in the commercials, but I feel like you would have seen the commercial more if they were playing better. Because Dr. Pepper would have been like, yeah, like this guy and Clemson are number 1. Let's get this out there. People are going to be like, yeah. Well, I mean, people would drink Dr. Pepper like anyways, so it's water. It's fine. So they would have been like, yeah, this is cool. This guy is playing for the number 1 team in the country, and he likes Dr. Pepper, so I'm going to drink more Dr. Pepper. You know, weird stuff like that commercial companies are like, yeah, we're going to put this in the commercial. This is what people are going to think. But like Alabama, I mean, you probably see all those commercials down in Tuscaloosa or down in Alabama on like local programming or stuff like that, because it's more the local stuff than you see the college players with the national stuff, because the national companies are still going with the professional athletes because there's still more household names. Like you still see, you know, the Tom Brady's, the Steph Curry's, the LeBron James, and all these commercials because they're the guys with the bigger names right now. They've been doing it for a while. You know, these college kids are good for 1, 2, 3 years, and then they're going professional, and then somebody else might scoop them up. So it's one of those things where you're not really going to see them nationally, but locally you might see, you know, more things like, you know, going to the mall, you see Borsheims, you see Lexi Sun's picture over there.
Yeah.
I mean, she might be in like, you know, other Borsheims around the country, but I feel like more locally, that's kind of what it was going with. But the whole pay to play, I don't want to say every college, but most colleges have at least 1, 2 very wealthy boosters that are giving them a lot of the money in the first place to supply them with gear and you know, scholarship money, what have you. So those guys or gals turning around and giving that money to the players is going to be available at just about every school. It's still going to come down to the bigger name school and who has a better chance for that player to win a championship or to get their name out there so they can make it professionally and make more money. So it's not all going to come down to NIL money and who can pay the most, because you're not going to see, you know, five-star athletes flip from I don't know, Texas A&M to Texas just because Texas has more booster money. No, they're still going to go to A&M because A&M has a better chance of winning than Texas does.
We got this text earlier during Vershawn's show, and I this is why I kind of wanted to talk about it a little bit. So they asked, how is paying a kid $1 million to come play for your school name, image, or likeness? You want to pay a player to come play for your school, don't call it NIL. That's not what it is. NIL is meant to help the college athlete. That's exactly what I'm kind of meaning, is there are ways that institutions are, once again, as a refresher, universities and institutions cannot, that like as part of NIL, you cannot be involved in this.
Mhm.
They cannot be, they have to, obviously the athlete has to report it to the university, and the university has to allow whatever deal is going on to be made. But there is like, this is where I'm saying it makes it feel like it's wrong, but in terms of a legal sense, as of right now, it's legal.
Yeah, as long as that player does some type of appearance or some type of thing for whoever is paying them. Like, but I mean, I believe it has to be some sort of business. I don't think Charlie Batch can just, you know, go out and hand Caleb Williams $1 million check and be like, yeah, I just want you to sit around somewhere and sign autographs. Like, I don't think that's how it works. It has to be some type of business that is paying this player to do something for them, make an appearance, host a camp, you know, sign some autographs, hang out with some kids for a couple hours or something, what have you. So they actually have to do something to get that money. It's not like they're just being handed checks and it's like, hey, cool, thanks, bye. Like they have to do something with that company.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. Obviously, we're still pretty fresh into it, 6 months or so. So we'll see how Nebraska kind of continues to evolve, and also just college athletics continue to evolve. We're hearing a lot about it at college football, and we'll see how it continues to evolve, what changes the NCAA makes, and what changes come about it here in the next couple months. All right, Rico, real quickly before we get to break, how about this NFL weekend?
Last weekend?
The NFL weekend in Week 18.
It's so weird.
Jaguars beat the Colts.
Cost themselves a playoff spot.
Come on, man.
Yo, Carson Wentz, what are you doing?
Come on, man. 49ers win in overtime over the Rams to get into the playoffs.
Apparently the Rams lost people a lot of money.
I'm sure. The Dolphins beat the Patriots. Then
they fired their head coach.
Then they fired Brian Flores.
Which is just weird.
The Bucks blew out the Panthers. Mike Evans gets over 1,000 receiving yards for the 8th straight season.
Look at him.
Consistency.
Remember, Antonio Brown was asking who's better than him.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody better than him.
They are, for a moment there, they were banged up at the wide receiver position because Mike Evans went out and Chris Godwin's out for the year.
Yeah.
Chris Godwin's out for the year. I mean,
they have like a dude who didn't play football, like a guy who was a track athlete, I think for like Florida State or something, as one of their receivers. He's doing really well, but like he didn't play football in college.
Unreal. It's wild. And then Big Ben's career, staying alive, then almost dying.
So upset.
And then resurrected.
And then staying alive.
Then it resurrected.
My man's rose from the coffin like Undertaker somehow.
And paired with that, the Raiders-Chargers game was just wild.
If Tyler Huntley wasn't the damn quarterback.
Are you in the boat that the Raiders changed their game plan after the Chargers called a timeout?
I didn't watch that. What happened? I didn't watch that game.
So the Raiders came out in overtime, right? They both score a field goal or whatever. The Raiders on like the Chargers 40-yard line or something, 45. So not even in field goal range, just on the cusp of field goal range. It's tied at 32. Okay. So then it's like third down. The Chargers call a timeout with 32 seconds left or something.
Okay.
For no reason. The Raiders were clearly running out the clock. Clearly.
Like they didn't care. They were like, we're going to tie it.
They're going to tie. We're both going to the playoffs. We're all good.
Yeah.
Chargers call a timeout with like 32 seconds left. And then the Raiders, who were showing shotgun formation before the timeout, come out in I formation or under center, run it first down up to like the 32-yard line. They kick a 40-some yard field goal for the win. But there's a lot of talk that Derek Carr said that, the timeout changed their way of thinking and everything like that. But the thing is,
they were probably going to pass it.
They said that they were thinking about kneeling it. Austin Eckler was talking to a Raiders dude after the game and was like, were you guys going to kneel it? And the guy was like, yeah.
No.
But here's the thing, they were in the shotgun formation.
If you were going to kneel it, you're still going to kneel it after that. They weren't going to kneel it. They were still going to go for they were going to pass
I don't know, man.
They were going to pass it, but then, they called the timeout and they're like, I will just run it. And it was kind of like it was a pseudo kneel down where they're like, we're going to run it. If we don't get the first down, whatever.
Yeah.
If we get the first down, well, now we have ourselves a decision to make. So if the Chargers would have stopped them from getting the first, would have been a kneel down pretty much. They wouldn't have cared. It would have been fine.
Yeah, you could have
just play better defense.
You could have both made it to the playoffs. Everything would have been fine.
You can't make it that obvious.
But it was 32-32. It was a tie.
Look,
everybody was cheering for the tie.
Well, how many yards did they have to get the first down? Was it like 3rd and
6?
3rd and 7? Yeah. They were just running it because they're just running up the clock even more.
Nah, man.
Look, man, you stop them on that run. They don't get the first down.
No, if you don't call the timeout, they don't run the play, or they only run one play and then they let the clock run out. And you're
but Derek Carr's saying it changed their way of thinking. They were going to pass it, but if it's incomplete, it stops the clock. Then they have to punt it, and then some crazy shenanigans could have happened. So they're like, you know what? Let's just run it. Let's be safe. If we don't get the first down, whatever. If we get the first down, let's go for the win. They got the first down. Just play better defense, Chargers. Don't suck.
The Chargers always find a way to lose ball games. They always find a way to have themselves in a game towards the end of the fourth quarter or overtime in this case, and then they fall apart. And
It's the
they
Chargers' way.
They should be so much better. Like, think about it. We get Big Ben in the playoffs instead of Justin Herbert.
Honestly, I'm fine with that. I want to see Big Ben
No
fail.
way.
I want to see Big Ben fail.
No way.
In the playoffs on the biggest stage.
Big Ben's career.
I want him to fall apart.
Big Ben's career was dead. Then it was alive. Or no, it was alive.
It was alive.
Then it was dead. Then it resurrected.
Then it was
and
alive.
it's alive. So, all right. We have Tom on the Honda Lincoln Hotline, who is a Steelers fan. Tom, hello.
What's up,
All right, how's
Tom?
it going, man?
Yeah. Which one of you guys was saying it matters who was quarterback in Baltimore?
I
Just
did.
a second ago.
I did. If Tyler Huntley wasn't
And
playing,
what
if it would have been Lamar
happened when they
Jackson.
played against Lamar Jackson?
What's up?
You lost. It doesn't matter who's quarterback in Baltimore. You got your number, brother.
Hey,
You're Baltimore.
I'm not even a Baltimore fan, Tom.
Tom's dead.
Oh, he hung
Tom's
up.
gone. Tom's gone.
Tom's out here talking trash, bro. You got swept by the Bengals. What are you talking about? I know they're the NFC North champions, but still. Remember when they had like 2 wins last year?
That's funny. Tom, Rico is not a Baltimore Ravens fan. And hey, Tom, not gonna lie, like, I'm happy that you guys made the playoffs. I would personally just like to see Justin Herbert in the playoffs.
Hey,
instead
Tom.
of Big Ben.
Hey, Tom, who's your backup quarterback? What's up? What's up?
Who's New England's?
Doesn't matter.
Exactly. Let's take our final time.
I think it's Matt Caspel. I don't know who
He's
it is.
still alive?
No, he's not the backup.
All right, let's take our final time out. When we come back, we'll talk Husker women's hoops and get you ready for the national championship game next.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the happy hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, Steve. Welcome to Great Clips.
Great Clips asks, what's the difference between good and great?
Come on back and have a seat.
Good asks you what haircut you'd like.
I have all your details from last time. Would you like the same haircut today?
Great already knows. With Clip Notes, we save your haircut details so you can get the same thing as last time, every time. Download our online check-in app today. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Seasons change, but your land stays the same. You need the right solutions to keep you moving. That's why you rely on Acres Equipment, your Nebraska-owned premier John Deere dealership. Whether you're harvesting, protecting your crops, feeding the herd, maintaining your lawn, improving your business, or letting off some steam, Acres has what you need to get the job done. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
At Southeast Community College, we know that winter isn't even here yet, but spring is already on our minds. Registration for the spring 2022 semester is open now. Whether you want to get a head start on a 4-year degree, learn a new trade with a certificate program, or add to your job skills, SCC has a class for you. Spring semester starts January 10th. Learn more about our more than 60 programs of study online at southeast.edu. SCC, your path to possible.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
If you're talking, they will hear you.
Why are we getting killed like this?
Kyle's not here. Got caught drinking beer in the park a couple of nights ago.
Really?
Yeah. 0 tolerance. He's out for the season.
Harsh.
Hey, he knew not to drink. We've made that clear to all of our kids, right?
No, not really.
Bill, if we don't tell them what we expect and why they shouldn't drink, how are they going to know?
Sponsored by SAMHSA and Nebraska DHHS. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Casey's General Store is giving you the chance at winning 2 free tickets to a Nebraska home basketball game this season. Stop by any Casey's location in Lincoln throughout basketball season. Enter your name into the registration box, and you'll have a chance to win 2 tickets to an upcoming Nebraska basketball game. Every drawing will occur at least 24 hours before the game that has its selected winner. So make sure to get to any Casey's in Lincoln today for your chance at 2 free tickets for Nebraska men's basketball games.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop. But you just brought a haul of groceries home from the store. It's cool. No one expects you to shop and cook in the same day. So let the flavor experts at Wingstop hook you up with mouth-watering wings, crispy tenders and thighs, fries and sides delivered to your door. You can always cook tomorrow. That's why the fridge was invented. Get it delivered at wingstop.com.
Order online now from the new Wingstop located at 5001 O Street.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, so a couple things. We have quite a bit to get to here before we round out the show. 402-464-5685, Honda of Lincoln Hotline, Sawyer Heyman text line. We got this right as we went to break from an unnamed texter. Says, hey, shut your filthy mouth, bringing up the AFC North champs. Also, Fat Ben does suck. Comes from a Bengals fan. So, Jamar Chase, go Rockstar. All right, 402.
Go little Rockstar.
402-464-5685. Call now because we are adopting Nick's trivia that I used to do on the afternoon editions of Old School and One-on-One with DP.
It's been adopted.
We have adopted on our show, and we're going to do it in the final segment, at the beginning of the final segment every single day. So 402-464-5685. Here is your trivia question. How many times has Husker women's basketball freshman Alexis Markowski won Big Ten Freshman of the Week? How many times has Alexis Markowski won Big Ten Freshman of the Week to win $15 to the Upside Bar and Lounge? $15 that you can use tonight. If you come out, watch the national championship game for a little bit, we'll be out there from 6 to 8 p.m. We can play Keno. It's not valid on Keno. Taco night, 50-cent tacos, $1 soft shell, right? That is 30 hard shell tacos that you can get with that $15 gift card.
And I bet you won't eat all of them.
So 402-464-5685. How many times has Alexis Markowski won Big Ten Freshman of the Week? We have a phone call right now. As we're waiting for this caller, that I believe it's Brett. Yes, let's go to Brett. Brett is on the Honda of Lincoln hotline. Brett.
Hi, Brett.
Do you know the answer? How many times has Alexis Markowski won Big Ten Freshman of the Week?
Twice.
I'm sorry, sir. That is incorrect. It is not twice. I think if you go to...
Whose is it?
I don't know. Probably Tom's.
Probably. Here we go.
R.I.P. to Tom.
Sorry, was that loud?
Thank you. That was very loud.
My bad.
All right, we got Dale on the Honda of Lincoln hotline.
Hi, Dale.
How many times has Alexis Markowski won Big Ten Freshman of the Week?
I'm going to say 3.
That is correct. Dale, congratulations. You have won $15 to the Upside Bar and Lounge. Hope to see you tonight from 6 to 8 p.m. when we're out there with Nicole Griffith and Ticket Weeknights. Thank you, Dale, for playing. Yeah, once again, we'll do that at the beginning of every final segment every single day. Nick's trivia. So why 3, not 2? She won today. It was announced today that she won.
Yes, she did.
Big Ten Freshman of the Week. She averaged 17 points over her last 2 games, and I think 7.7 rebounds per game.
We'll just run it up to 8.
Yeah, pretty big performance from Alexis Markowski. Let's talk about the Husker women's basketball game a little bit. Rico, I was there. I know you were watching it.
Mm-hmm.
They lose 95-88 to number 22 Iowa.
Much closer than the score indicated.
Absolutely. First of all, round of applause to the folks at PBA. Round of applause because it was a phenomenal atmosphere. That place was packed. I went into the ticket office. I don't know if you guys saw my tweet. I went into the ticket office probably about 30 minutes before tip-off, 45 minutes before tip-off, and that ticket office was packed to the brim. Lines were filling out the doors. The rail yard was popping. It was really, really awesome. And it was a big game. 4 Huskers scored in double figures. Jazz Shelley, Ashley Scoggin, Sam Hybian, and Markowski. But then probably the more impressive performance that really caught my attention on Sunday was freshman Allison Widener. Coming off the bench, she had 9 points, 4 rebounds in 16 minutes. And here's something that I really like to look at, the data, the analytics kind of thing. Nebraska was +6 in the plus-minus category when Allison Widener was on the floor. Just really, really interesting stuff. Really fascinating, really strong performance.
All over the place. When she came in the game, they tasked her with going on Caitlyn Clark.
You're absolutely right.
They looked at a freshman and they said, "You see her across the way from you, one of the best scorers in NCAA basketball right now? Yeah, we want you to slow her down." And she stepped up to the plate. She did what she could. She stopped her a couple of times. She stonewalled her a few times. But with a player like that, it's hard to keep him down for very long. And she got hers. But the way that Allison was playing against her was very inspirational. And she was hustling for everything. And it was amazing.
Well, and if you were at PBA or watching on TV yesterday, we've talked so many times about the way Jazz Shelley specifically affects the games in more ways than just scoring. And there were multiple times that Jazz Shelley would come out of nowhere, grab an offensive board, do it multiple times in one possession.
It was hilarious.
And it would result in Husker points.
Like, it was amazing to watch and also very funny to watch because you could see the bigs for Iowa just kind of boxing out, getting ready to go up for the rebound. And here comes Jazz Shelley around the corner and she just jumps up, snags it, dribbles out, and resets the offense.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, okay.
It's like little things like that are going to keep you in ball games, and they were able to stay in that ball game yesterday. Like Rico said, score's not indicative of how close it was. And Caitlyn Clark, a player like her, she was Big Ten Freshman of the Year last year. Caitlyn Clark, she's only a sophomore.
I forgot she was only a sophomore until they mentioned in the broadcast.
She is only a sophomore.
That is not going to be fun the next 2 years.
Yeah, Caitlyn Clark, 31 points, not very popular in PBA yesterday. She was egging on the boos when she was getting booed.
Her and Jazz Shelley were getting, not nose to nose, like shoulder to shoulder.
Oh, they were talking. They were talking. It was chippy.
We asked Ashley, and she just kind of smiled and laughed and said it was fun.
Yeah, it was very chippy. It was physical. It was Big Ten women's basketball. It was a lot of fun to watch, and I'm all for it. Like we said, Alexis Markowski gets selected as Big Ten Freshman of the Week for the 3rd time this season. And then now they play Indiana on Thursday. Number 6, Indiana.
Is that with the new rankings?
I guess not the new rankings. I'm not sure with the new rankings. As of last week, they were number 6 in the country. And they play in Bloomington on Thursday at 5 p.m., and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. They get a huge road test. They return to PBA on the 20th. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, Rico. I know you're looking up the ranking.
What's up? You can ask me. I'm just going to.
40 seconds left. Who wins tonight?
I want Georgia to win. I want the Bulldogs to get over the hump, and I want a former assistant of Nick Saban to finally beat him and take the national championship. But I think Alabama gets it done.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how interested are you in tonight's game?
About a 7.
Okay.
Like, I hate that it's an all SEC, final game, but they're both really good teams, so I'm not mad.
I'm going to take Alabama as well. I've just learned not to bet against Nick Saban. But Kirk from Georgia, if you're listening, I hope Georgia wins for your sake.
Nebraska right. Fan, Indiana's number 4 now.
All right, there you go. We're out. Talk to you guys tomorrow. See ya.
Adios.
Hey, Steve. Welcome to Great Clips.
Great Clips.